Okay, we're here at the Hagerstown Speedway on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, April the 20th here, for another sprint car program presented by Lynn Paxton here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Right now, out on the racetrack, we see a lot of vintage race cars going around out there. These are cars dating back into the early 50s and throughout the mid 50s, into the 60s, some of them. And real kind of a step back into the past here as we watch some of these old coupes. This is the kind of cars that they used to race on all the central Pennsylvania racetracks back through the 50s. All these cars, a lot of them are the original cars. They have been restored by the owners, and the restoration on a lot of these cars is quite immaculate. These cars all belong to the Williams Grove Old Timers Club, their owners. Coming up here to Hagerstown Speedway this Sunday afternoon, kind of put on a little display of racing yesteryear. We have a good many sprint cars in the pits, not an overwhelming field. The camera swings around. We start off here with the number 65. That is the Johnny Mackison Jr. car, the KTS Ford Sprinter. Parked alongside him there is Paul Latier in the number 7. The C. Irwin car alongside him, the 77 of Keith Kaufman, Jerry Stone on down from Kaufman, and then Maynard Yink, Steve Piper, Darren and Chris Esch on hand here today. Van May, Lance DeWease. So it's still going to be a pretty good sprint car feature. We should be seeing some good racing out here today. I'm working alone today. My fellow commentator Randy Sasser could not make it down here to Hagerstown this afternoon, so I'll be working the booth by myself. We do have cameraman down in the sprint car pit area, Dave Martin, and he'll have a helper down there with him. They'll be trying to cover all the action from down in the sprint car pit area. Well, the sprint car warm-ups have been run off here, and we are now patiently awaiting the first sprint car heat of the afternoon, and we'll be back with that right after this.
Speed Center of the East Coast. Today's attraction featuring those high-flying sprint cars. The top end cars now they're qualifying events. All the point standings are up to date.
Okay, we're back here. We're getting ready to go with the first sprint car heat of the afternoon. I'll go down over the starting lineup for you. Starting on the pole in the number 8D will be Scott Dietrich, and alongside him in the number 7E will be Darren Esch. In the second row inside, the number 35 will be Lance DeWease, and alongside Lance in the number 69 will be Van May. Next row back on the inside, and that number 77 will be Keith Kaufman, last night's feature winner at the Port Royal Speedway, and alongside him will be Steve Smith Sr., and bringing up the rear in the number 66A will be Bobby Fletcher. So those are your starters for this 10-lap heat race. We'll watch them. They're over on the backstretch, and hopefully we'll be getting a green flag this time around. Well, they'll actually be taking one more parade lap, as the number 19 now of Stevie Smith Jr. is out on the speedway. He's really not scheduled to go in this event. At least I didn't have him on my lineup sheet. Yes, he is, right? That's right. He's alongside Van May. So, Dan Dietrich, Chris Esch, Lance DeWease, Steve Smith Jr., Van May, Keith Kaufman, Steve Smith Sr., and Bobby Fletcher. And that's your starting field. Pace car heads toward the backstretch, and it'll be coming off the track, and hopefully we'll be getting a green flag this time. Starter Ross Gordon checking the field. We'll watch him. Dan Dietrich matched up here beside Darren Esch. Boy, Darren Esch was really flying last night at Port Royal Speedway. We'll see what he can do here at Hagerstown. Green flag waves and we're underway. Everybody heading through that first and second turn. Darren Esch down on the inside. Dan Dietrich moves along the outside as they head down the backstretch. Here comes Steve Smith Jr. He runs third. Keith Kaufman has moved up into that fourth spot, relegating Lance DeWease to fifth. Here they come now off turn 4. Darren Esch down on the inside. Dan Dietrich will lead as they complete lap number 1. Dietrich up on that cushion as they head off turn number 2 now. He's your leader. Darren Esch runs second. Steve Smith still runs third. Kaufman still runs fourth. One back through, it is Lance DeWease, Steve Smith Sr., Van May, and Bobby Fletcher. Camera swings around now over on turn number 2. Dan Dietrich, still your leader as he heads down the backstretch. Right there you can see him in that number 8D. Dan Dietrich really does a super job here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Really runs strong here at Hagerstown. Darren Esch trying to move in from that second position, but so far he has not really been able to close the gap on Dan Dietrich, your leader. Well, and Keith Kaufman and Lance DeWease get very, very close up in that second turn. Actually, Lance DeWease now has moved in front of Keith Kaufman. He'll run fourth on the speedway. Kaufman runs fifth. Well, right here's a good battle between the rookie Lance DeWease and the veteran Keith Kaufman. Lance DeWease seems to have the line as they head into turns number 1 and 2. He'll have the line as they come out of turn number 2. Kaufman will remain in that fourth position. Swinging around now, here he comes, your leader, Dan Dietrich, in that number 8D as he heads down the front stretch. Halfway to go on your leader, Dan Dietrich. Right there's Darren Esch. He's trying to move up, but Dan Dietrich seems to have things well in hand here. And now Steve Smith Sr. gets by Kaufman, so Keith Kaufman having some problems here in the heat race. Kaufman now runs 6th. This racetrack so smooth, it's almost as if the cars are having a hard time getting a bite. The track is so smooth, almost like glass as we look out across. Camera swings around now. Here they come off turn 4. Your leader, Dan Dietrich. Darren Esch runs second, and they've been able to pull a pretty good lead over your third place man, Steve Smith Jr. Darren Esch really up against that second turn fence that time. Nothing to be alarmed about. He brings that car back. Darren Esch seems to be driving with a lot of aggression here in 1986. He really tries hard, as he is in this heat race. He's trying to close it in on Dan Dietrich. Darren Esch using every inch of that racetrack now, trying to move in on Dan Dietrich. We could see a battle for the lead develop here. White flag will be displayed by Ross Gordon this time around. Here they come off turn 4. And Darren Esch really puts that car into turn number 1, trying to close it up on Dan Dietrich. Dietrich, though, seems to have everything under control, and I don't think he's a bit worried by the number 7 of Darren Esch as they work their way off turn 4. Checkered flag waves. Finishing in that third spot will be Steve Smith Jr. right there. You went across your screen. Finishing fourth is Lance DeWease, and then it's Steve Smith Sr., and then Keith Kaufman. So Keith Kaufman hasn't found the fast way around here at Hagerstown so far yet today. Hopefully he'll get her hooked up here a little bit better and get going in the feature event. We'll be back with the second sprint car heat right after this. Okay, we're back here. I'm Johnny Strasser, your commentator for this third sprint car event here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Our second heat is out on the speedway. Here is your starting lineup. Starting on the pole in the number 17E will be Chris Esch, and alongside him in the number 5P will be Steve Piper. Starting in that third spot in the number 21S will be Jerry Stone. Alongside him, starting fourth, will be Maynard Yingst. Starting fifth in the number 461 will be Joey Allen. And starting in that sixth spot, the number 69N will be Donnie Kreitz. Starting seventh in the number 65 will be Johnny Mackison Jr., and alongside him will be the 7 of Paul Latier. Green flag waves and we're underway. And the number 47 of Scott Osherman is actually bringing up the rear. We're under green. The cars are over on turn number 2. Chris Esch now works on Jerry Stone as they head down the backstretch. We'll watch them as they come off turn 4. looked like Steve Piper got out on the track a little bit late. Ed Lynch way up against the top of the fence there on turn number 2. He brings her back. Chris Esch with a commanding lead right now over your second place man, the number 21S of Jerry Stone. And here comes Maynard Yanks now. And Joey Allen in that Roller Dyer 461. Joey Allen goes along the outside of Jerry Stone, goes by easily on the outside. He'll move up to second. He must have found something up there. Maynard Yanks still runs fourth. Now Maynard Yanks tries to move in on Jerry Stone. Yanks now runs third as they work their way off turn 4. Chris Esch, still your leader. Chris Esch with a commanding lead as they head down the backstretch. He'll actually be coming up to lap the number 5P of Steve Piper. Boy, Joey Allen doing a super job here again at Hagerstown Speedway. And I think you're going to see a feature winner here in the form of Joey Allen before too much longer here at Hagerstown. Drives very aggressive. He's beginning to close the gap on our leader, Chris Esch. Here comes the rest of the field. Maynard Yanks holding off Donnie Kreitz as they head down the front stretch. Maynard Yanks works the top of that second turn as they head down the backstretch now. Donnie Kreitz right behind Maynard. Here comes your leaders now. We got a battle going on for the lead here. Chris Esch and Joey Allen. And Chris Esch just narrowly holds off Joey Allen as they head down the front stretch. Both of them take the inside line that time. We'll watch what happens as they head down and into turn number 3. I think Chris Esch is going to have some problems here with Joey Allen because Allen has got the pressure on. Here they come off turn 4. Steve Piper is actually a lap car. He runs in at 4th position. Maynard Yanks now is in 3rd. Donnie Kreitz still runs 4th. Right here's your battle. Chris Esch and Chris Esch up into loose stuff, and he spins out down across the racetrack. He keeps on going. As the yellow flag will come out for Chris Esch. That was a pretty exciting moment there for Chris Esch. He actually came down and across the front of the field. Could have been a catastrophic move on his part, but everybody makes it by okay. They're under yellow, and we'll be back for the restart right after this. Okay, we're back here. Joey Allen inherits the lead from Chris Esch when he does that 360 up there on turn number 3 and 4. Ross Gordon waves the green flag, and we're back underway. Here comes Joey Allen, your leader. And Donnie Kreitz gets by Maynard Yanks on the waving of the green flag here as they head down into turns number 1 and 2. Joey Allen with a nice lead now over Donnie Kreitz. Maynard Yanks runs 3rd. Paul Attire's moved up to 4th. And then Ed Lynch runs in that 5th spot, the number 2. Right there you can see the interval between 1st and 2nd place. Right there's Donnie Kreitz. He runs 2nd. Camera swings around. Right there's your leader, Joey Allen, in the Walter Dyer, number 461. Can Donnie Kreitz reel in young Joey Allen now? He's going to be looking for the checkered flag this time around. Joey Allen off turn number 4, checkered flag in the hand of Ross Gordon. Here they come. Allen will pick up the win. Donnie Kreitz will take 2nd. Maynard Yanks will take 3rd. Paul Attire will finish in that 4th spot. And then it's the number 2 of Ed Lynch, followed by Jerry Stone in the number 21S and Chris Esch in the number 17. Steve Piper was a lap down. So actually Scott Osherman will finish ahead of Steve Piper. So those are your 2 qualifying heat races for the sprint division here at Hagerstown. They're also running limited late models here today as we watch Joey Allen there in that Walter Dyer Masonry 461 head back to the pit area. I'll tell you, Walter Dyer has to be happy with the performance that young Joey Allen has put on here in that number 461 car. Well, we'll be back with more racing action from the Hagerstown Speedway right after this.
Third, starter in car 46, Alan Pugh. Third qualifier, number 1.
Okay, we're back here at the Hagerstown Speedway getting ready to go with the 25-lap sprint car feature event. I'll go down over the starting lineup for you. On the first row, it is the 8D of Dan Dietrich. He'll be your pole setter, and alongside him is Darren Esch in the 7E. Second row, inside, the number 35 will be Lance DeWease, and alongside him will be the 21S of Jerry Stone. In the third row, inside, in that fifth starting position will be the 19 of Steve Smith Jr., and alongside him will be Maynard Jinks in the number 88. Fourth row, inside, in that seventh starting spot, in the number 461 will be Joey Allen. A good job here in the heat race, turned in by Joey. And alongside him, driving the Al Hamilton number 77 will be Keith Kaufman. Fifth row, inside, in that ninth starting position will be the number 69 of Donnie Kreitz, and alongside him will be the number 119 of Steve Smith Sr. Sixth row, inside, in that 11th starting position will be the number 7 of Paul Latier, and alongside him will be the number 2 of Ed Lynch. Seventh row was made up of the number 69 of Van May and the 17 of Chris Esch. Eighth row, inside, the number 66A will be Bobby Fletcher, and alongside him will be the number 5P of Steve Piper. And in the final row, starting in that 17th starting position will be the number 47 of Scott Osherman, and alongside him, bringing up the rear, will be the number 65 of Johnny Mackelson Jr. Okay, the field up in turns 3 and 4. Starter Ross Gordon checks the field. No, green flag does wave. Green flag is out. Everybody heads through turns 1 and 2 now. Dan Dietrich will be setting the pace as they head down the backstretch. Darren Esch running in that second spot, but now Lance DeWease moves up to second, and he'll be chasing the number 8D of Dan Dietrich as they come off turn 4. Here they come, 2, 3 wide off turn 4. Everybody's still trying to sort things out there. It's the number 35 of Lance DeWease. He's your leader now as they head down the backstretch. Dan Dietrich runs second. Jerry Stone now moves up to third. Maynard Jinks runs fourth. Steve Smith Sr. runs fifth. And then Keith Kaufman in the number 77. A lot of scrambling as they work their way down the backstretch now. Jerry Stone getting a little bit out of shape. So does Darren Esch. Keith Kaufman now moves up along the inside of Darren Esch. Here comes your leader, Lance DeWease, and that Harry Ernest, number 35, as they head down the front stretch. Lance DeWease running the inside of this speedway. Dan Dietrich runs on the outside part of the racetrack, as we'll see if Lance DeWease can keep from burning up his tires. Here he comes off turn 4. Lance DeWease, the rookie driver, doing a superb job in that Harry Ernest car. And we got a lot of battling going on back through the pack now as we look up in turn number 4. Paul Latier moves up. Camera will be swinging around to the backstretch now on our leader, Lance DeWease, in the number 35. Right there he is, running that Bobby Allen groove as he works his way through turns 3 and 4. Dan Dietrich still within striking distance, runs in that second spot. Steve Smith Sr. runs third, Maynard Jinks fourth, Donnie Kreitz fifth, and then Jerry Stone, and then Keith Kaufman. So Keith Kaufman is not making his way toward the front here very quickly. We'll see what happens later on in the race. They could have that car set up to go fast at the end. So far, Lance DeWease has been able to hang on Dan Dietrich continues to run second. Steve Smith Sr. still runs third. Right there is Maynard Yingst on your picture as he works his way through turns 3 and 4. Right there comes your leader. Steve Smith Sr. still in that third spot. Right down along the inside, you can see Lance DeWease in that Harry Ernest car. Right there is Dan Dietrich. He runs second. Lance DeWease out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, still your leader in that Harry Ernest owned number 35 race car. Boy, this would be a big victory if they could pick one up here today. Right there it is. Cameras on your leader, the number 35 of Lance DeWease. And right there you're looking at the interval between first and second position. We're coming up now. We're going to pick up on some lap traffic here. The 5P is Steve Piper and the 47 is Scott Escherman. Lance DeWease continues to run that Bobby Allen groove down along the hub rail. He'll have to be careful now as he works his way by this lap traffic. He just got by Steve Piper. The next man up will be Scott Osherman. He'll have to get by Scott. But here comes Dan Dietrich off turn 4. He's right there. Dan Dietrich well within striking distance now. Lance DeWease will try and ward off the challenges of Dan Dietrich as they head into turn number 3. Steve Smith Sr. still runs in that third spot, and Donnie Kreitz has moved all the way up to 4th now as Maynard Yingst runs 5th, Darren Ash runs 6th, and Joey Allen runs in that 7th spot. Okay, as the camera swings up the track now, down the backstretch, it is your leader, Lance DeWease, in the number 35. We'll try and pick him up for you. Right there he is on the screen. Lance DeWease still runs down along the hub rail, trying to hold off the number 8 of Dan Dietrich. The laps are beginning to tick away now as Lance DeWease has to be able to feel the pressure of Dan Dietrich. And we got a car spinning down in between turns 1 and 2. He keeps on going. That's the number 47 of Scott Osherman. And they're going to keep the green flag out, so we're still under green. That's a tremendous break for Lance DeWease. Scott Osherman doing a 360 right down there where the camera just was pointed down in that turns 1 and 2 area, but he kept on going. Right here comes your leader, young Lance DeWease out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Dan Dietrich runs second, Steve Smith Sr. runs third. Right there's Donnie Kreitz, he runs in that 4th spot. Maynard Yingst continues to run 5th, and right behind him is the 7 of Darren Esch, the 461 of Joey Allen, and the 21 of Jerry Stone. And then it's Keith Kaufman. Kaufman has not moved up in this field. Right there's your first and second place drivers right now. Lance DeWease as he continues to hug that hub rail, trying to hold off the challenges of Dan Dietrich. Bobby Fletcher, you see him right there on your screen. He's actually a lap down. He runs second on the track, but he's a lap down. And that's going to help Lance DeWease as Dietrich and Smith try and work their way by Bobby Fletcher in the number 66A. In the meantime, Lance DeWease continues to drive away here. He's over on the backstretch. He has a comfortable lead. Can Lance DeWease pull it off here at Hagerstown Speedway? He's a young rookie driver. This is actually only his first real full season in a sprint car. He did race some last year. Boy, Harry Ernest has to be walking on a cloud right now. He's got to be the happiest man here at the Hagerstown Speedway right this very moment. If Lance DeWease can just hang on to this lead, it'll be a major victory for Lance DeWease and the Harry Ernest team. Lance DeWease out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, putting on a real David and Goliath show here at the Hagerstown Speedway. There's plenty of competition here today. You got Keith Kaufman in the pits, Jerry Stone, the Esch brothers. But Lance DeWease has so far bested this 17-18 car field here at the Hagerstown Speedway. It looks like our flagman, Ross Gordon, now giving the 5 laps to go to our leader, Lance DeWease. He works his way now by some more lap traffic. That is actually Chris Esch there. He's putting Chris Esch a lap down. Right there he is, Lance DeWease in that Harry Ernest car. That car is housed in Lewistown, Pennsylvania. And they've really got that car dialed in here today for Lance DeWease. Doing a super job. Steve Smith Sr. has moved up into second. He's actually gotten around Dan Dietrich. As the camera picks up right there on Steve Smith Sr., he's your second place runner. But Lance DeWease has about, I'd say, a 12-car length lead over Steve Smith Sr. now as they work their way off turn 4. Right there's Lance DeWease. He is really taking care of that race car. He's really saving the tires on that car. He drives it into the turn very straight, and he kind of eases up on the throttle. Gets back into it real easy as he comes out of the turns. That's what you have to do in a daylight racing service. You cannot hog into the throttle. Here comes Lance DeWease with only 2 laps to go. He's right in behind the number 7 of Paul Latier now. He's going to have to be careful working his way by Latier. He's down on the inside. Okay, let's hope that Lance DeWease can stay out of trouble here. He's only going to be having 1 more lap to go, this time off turn 4. He still runs that Bobby Allen groove. Well, this is just going to be a super victory for Lance DeWease. Who would have ever thought he could come out here and win a sprint car feature his first year out? Well, he's only got 1 more turn to go, and that's the 4th turn. Checkered flag in the hand of Ross Gordon now. There it is. Checkered flag waves. Lance DeWease, can you believe it? Has picked up the feature win here at the Hagerstown Speedway. A tremendous job. Stevie Smith Sr. will take second. The number 69, Donnie Kreitz will finish third. I believe he finished third. That's unofficial. Then it's the number 8 of Dan Dietrich and the 461. That's all unofficial, but we can tell you that Lance DeWease picked up the feature win. A super job. This crew, this Harry Ernest crew, is going to have to just be super elated in the winner's circle. So, your winner today here at the Hagerstown Speedway, Lance DeWease, out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, and we knew he was going to find his way to victory lane. We just didn't know how soon it was going to happen, but you know, here we have a nice afternoon day here at the Hagerstown Speedway. Track was in super condition. It was hard and dry as usual for a daylight show, but super smooth, and Lance DeWease, his driving equally as smooth. Again, we'll try and give you an official finish here a little later. We can tell you that Lance DeWease, of course, won the event, and Steve Smith Sr. finished second. And I think the number 69 of Donnie Kreitz was third. Well, there it is, Lance DeWease. He rolls that number 35 car into victory lane, and we have a cameraman down there in the pit area. And they'll be trying to capture this post-race interview with first-time feature winner Lance DeWease out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania.
When you came in here this afternoon, because they had your name on there with just a kind of a paper tape on there, and I was just telling you, you know, maybe you want to make it secure, so you, I think you ought to have secure that right here today, don't you? I won't tell you, but I'll never go to the Well, I'll tell you one thing, you overtook the leader and you just drove hard enough to stay in front. Danny Beaver, he's one tough around there, and you had a lot of tough ones even behind him. First one back away, so Carl was really working great. Well, Lance, I know it's a great feeling. You probably can't hardly even believe that, you won here yet. Your dad's here in Victory, and I see a lot of your well-wishers. What was the first thing they said when you find out the car and the helmet off? First thing they did was the way to go. Yeah, I know, it's a great feeling. Would you ever think you'd be able to beat some of these tough guys in sprint car racing? We always come fast here. We ran fast and got back. Man, you rewrote the record book. May I say you wrote the record book. We never had a 25-lap record here today this time speedway, but we have one now. 9 minutes, 17 and 52/100 seconds belongs to Lance DeWease at the Hagerstown Speedway. First winner, that has to add a little extra to that first win every sprint car race. It's safe to say, because every time that's in the outlaws, we're ready to keep that. Let's go right in, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves it here today. The young man who started last year and he gets his first win here this afternoon, Lance DeWease.
Well, there you have it, Lance DeWease picking up the feature win here at the Hagerstown Speedway on this overcast Sunday afternoon here, April the 20th, and it was a record-breaking ride. So he actually holds the 25-lap sprint car record here at Hagerstown Speedway by virtue of the fact that the event went non-stop, no yellow lights, and that'll give him a 25-lap record here. His first career win, Lance DeWease out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, driving the Harry Ernest number 35E out of Lewistown. So we congratulate Lance on his super fine job here at Hagerstown. There he gets a big hug and a kiss from his mom. We know the DeWeases, they used to race micro midgets up at Banana Speedway. We've watched him blossom into a super good sprint car driver, and we'll hope to see him back in victory lane real soon. Well, this has been another Strasser Motorsports video production here at the Hagerstown Speedway. It's always a pleasure to be down here at Hagerstown, and we'll be looking forward to coming back and covering the sprint car races here on Friday nights, as this will actually complete all the Sunday afternoon sprint car racing here for this part of the season, and we'll be back when they get ready to drop that green flag here at the Hagerstown Speedway.